First question, can you recommend your most basic push regressions for somebody with bad shoulders? I don't have an injury per se, but every push variation I try causes pain in my shoulder. Okay, I want you to get that looked at. Overhead presses, dumbbell, kettlebell, and sandbags, dumbbell, bench press, push-ups, and even Turkish get-ups. Well, you've kind of run out of options for me there, my good friend. I have tried all these with light weights with proper form, shoulders back and down, and it still aggravates me. For context, I'm a man in my 40s who works at a computer all day. I stand often at work and try to move around a lot. I have also tried hanging over an extended period of time, and it hasn't helped. What push variations do you recommend that have the lowest risk for shoulder problems? The one option, and I don't know if you said it, but in this, okay, first off, I think you need to see a medical professional on this. If your shoulders are that bad that hanging doesn't help and every lift hurts, you know, Dan, you've really put me in a corner. I don't have many things left, except for one. How are things with singles, with single kettlebell presses? And the reason I say that is very often people don't necessarily, like, okay, there are shoulder issues that you get from throwing. Like, you know, you blow your rotator cuff right off, or you blow your elbow, you get the Tommy John surgery, not related. And they repair it, they put it back on, they repair it, they put it back on, and yay for me, we know what the problem is. But sometimes when people have shoulder issues, pressing, this is, I'm guessing, and I almost feel like I'm doing medical advice, but I'm trying not to, is that if you spend your whole day like this and you press, it's not a shoulder issue. It's a kind of a thoracic mobility up, you know, it's a Hunchback of Notre Dame issue, you know, you've got the cobra look. So sometimes when people just press with a single hand, it allows that this whole area, instead of being kind of driven in by the double locked in load, it allows some open, you're allowed to open up a little bit here and get your lifts in. So the only thing I'm going to tell you is first I'm going to tell you, I do want you to see somebody about this. You know, I got a good PT, you know, Mike does a great job with me. If I was to come into him with a shoulder issue, I could almost tell you the exercise, he would tell me to hang, he'd tell me to do the touchdowns, the slides. I know that. And to the point that when I get those certain crunches in the shoulders, I slide back to slides almost immediately. It could be something that easy. It could be you have some serious issue. Let's find out. The next step I'd like you to think about, though, is the one-arm press family. And if you're going to do it, I would like you to use kettlebells because of the one thing I like the best about the kettlebell press. You start with your thumb and these fingers on your pec. You try to make sure your elbow is driven into your side, into your ribs. And as you press, there's that little J-ish movement in the press that for a lot of beat up guys, and I'm going to put myself into that category, really seem to help me overcome some of my, you know, I threw the discus, 51 years, you know, I mean, that was a long time. You know, it was Highland Games, Olympic lifting. My shoulders are pretty, but the kettlebell press really seemed to help me. So if it helps you, win, okay? Win. I'm to the point now that I can barbell press again with no pain. And I think it was because of Mike, my PT, and because of my my kettlebell pressing. Oh, and the hanging. But it's interesting because of the three things, you don't see Mike, but the other two, you've already done. So I might be out of answers.